Sorry about that. My video decided to just cut off right after I was talking about the Rangers. I don't know why. I think it was just a storage issue on my phone. But, anyways, so now that we're done with the Rangers, I'm going to get to the Columbus Blue Jackets. They currently have 25 points. They have 11 wins, 11 losses, and 4 overtime losses. Oh, geez, I feel so bad for Columbus and their fans overall. They've had little to no winning to this point since coming into the National Hockey League. I I commend their GM for going all in last season to make a strong playoff push, but unfortunately they didn't get the results they wanted, and losing guys like Matt Duchene, Ryan Dzingel, Sergei Bobrovsky, and Artemi Panarin puts you in a rebuild mode unfortunately. I look at their team; they have a very good young core. Their defense, especially Seth Jones and Zach Werenski, it doesn't get much better than that. And hopefully, for their sake, they are there for the remainder of their careers. Pierre-Luc Dubois has had a very solid start to the season. He seems like he's going to be the franchise for the Blue Jackets. Probably the best thing since Rick Nash. Oliver Bjorkstrand has been a very solid forward for them. Kim Atkinson has been not too great. The goal scoring really isn't there, so hopefully he picks it up. Gustav Nyquist, he's kind of on and off as well. This Blue Jackets team just has little to no offense whatsoever. And their goaltending has been an issue too. They were assuming, and a lot of fans, and including myself, would think that Jonas Korpisalo would have reached the point of solidifying himself as a starter, but he still hasn't. And then you have Merzlikins, who's a rookie for them too, who's really, we don't know the ceiling of him yet, and neither do we with Korpisalo. So, unfortunately, in the Blue Jackets' case, they really need to do a rebuild. If I were them, if I were the GM, I would definitely trade the likes of Cam Atkinson and Gustav Nyquist at the deadline because there's no point in keeping them. And if they can hopefully get a decent return, assuming that both those players can have a strong push going up to the deadline or by the end of the season, then they should really jump on that and get those first round picks if possible. Especially going to this 2020 draft, it's so coveted, and I think that would be the best option for the Blue Jackets. So overall, I do not think they're going to make the playoffs, and I think that they are unfortunately a team that really needs things to be reshaped. And does that mean that John Tortorella needs to be fired in order to help that? I don't know. That's for you to decide. But so in the last place in the Metropolitan Division, we have the New Jersey Devils. They have 22 points, 9 wins, 12 losses, and 4 overtime losses. New Jersey, I must say, I'm really surprised that they are doing as bad as they are. Do I think that they were going to come into the season soaring and making a big playoff push? No. I think their off-season moves were really overhyped. P.K. Subban has looked nothing short of terrible to start the season, and I expected that. I felt that he's been past his prime for about a year and a half, 2 years now, and it's really showing. Getting the likes of Nikita Gusev hasn't been terrible for them, but as you would expect, a 27-year-old forward from the KHL who's been dominant there with zero experience on North American ice now, it's just showing that he's a rookie and that he also has no defensive game, little to none, and that's a big problem for them. I look at their offense and they do have some key pieces. Taylor Hall, though, I think it would be smart to get rid of him. A big return if they can, because I just don't see how this Devils team makes a run for the playoffs at all. They really need to reshape everything, and I can't give all the blame to Ray Shero. I know that he had good intentions with the moves that he was making, but overall, I think it was best. I think it would be best for them to go forward, making a lot of moves and going from there. So, in regards to them, I think that they should get rid of Taylor Hall if they can. Same with Subban, especially if they're going to be last in the division come the trade deadline. I just don't see the point of keeping them. Get rid of your assets while you can and collect those draft picks and B level or possibly even A level prospects in the case of Taylor Hall. I think Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, they have very promising futures. I think Nico especially is a very underrated player already. His defensive game is great, and I think there's so much more to see from both of them. I think Jesper Bratt is very underrated too. I like him a lot, just as an overall hockey fan. And Boquist too. I think that they have yet to see a lot from him, the rookie. And defensively, Will Butcher, on and off. Not sure how much point production he's going to get since his rookie season, but time will tell. And the goaltending is the biggest issue with them by far. Is Mackenzie Blackwood a number one? I don't think so. At least not at this stage in his career. And with the way the Devils are shaped currently, you just really can't expect much out of them. They're unbelievably inconsistent, and even when they have the goal scoring, the defense does not help them whatsoever. The amount of blown leads they've had is alarming, to say the least. So that's going to wrap up my first little snippet of videos on the Metro Division. The next that I'll be doing in a day or two, most likely, will be on the Atlantic Division and talking about everything regarding them. So sorry again for the first video getting cut off, but I think this was better anyways, just to break it up a bit. Please do hit like and subscribe if you are enjoying these videos, if you're interested to hear more from me and what I have to say about things, and if you're just interested in hockey and sports in general, and you find these things fascinating, and whine my input on your favorite teams, players, etc. And please feel free to drop comments about the video, what you like, what you don't like, what things I can improve on, to make things best for you. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.